race fans, and welcome back to the FEG PC NASCAR Oval Series brought to you by FEG PC. We're at Dover International where we're going to decide the champion for Segment 2. My name's James East with Team Goon Squad Broadcasting. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and I'm looking forward to another great race with some really great drivers and fans alike. Let me know where you're from, who you're cheering for, as we're going to run through tonight's grid. Starting on pole, Jason Ayerson. Chad Ross starting second. Eric Parks starting third. Adam Shane starting fourth. We've got Stephen Page starting fifth. Derek Fulton starting sixth on the grid. Dennis Black starts seventh. Corey Stahl starting eighth. John Mullahan starting ninth. Jeffrey Radke starting 10th. We've got Dalton Randolph starting 11th. William Price starting 12th. Roger Hale 13th on the grid. Jay Dargan, the fan favorite, starting 14th. Jeremy Paris starting 15th. James Kaufman, 16th on the grid. Wally Babb starting 17th. Greg Lewis starting 18th. Christopher Carter starting 19th. Kenneth McCall Jr. 20th on the grid. Jimmy Cubanek starting 21st. Dalton McKinney starting 22nd. Sean Powers 23rd. Ryland Fascinato starting 24th. Cycling it back one last time. Ryan Travers starting 25th. Richard Jones 26th. We've got Mark McFadden starting 29th. Oh, and I missed somebody. Michael Brisson starting 27th. John Below starting 28th. And then Mark McFadden starting 29th. We get ready to send them out. It's Ayerson and Ross on the front row. Roger Hale already getting some love from the fans here tonight. Hale will be starting in the 13th spot in his Toyota Tundra. Now again, tonight, the segment championship, ladies and gentlemen. We've got 8 drivers out there for points to bring home the big prize. Dennis Black, Wally Babb, Chad Ross, Derek Fulton, Mark McFadden, Sean Powers, William Price, and Ryland Fascinato all in the running. Those are our 8 drivers who are going to be duking out. Now, whoever gets the most points for tonight, not necessarily the winner, will be crowned the segment champion. I'm excited. I hope you are as well. And away they go. Ayerson on the inside line, Ross on the high line. Right behind them, the 73 of Parks, as well as Adam Shane in the 79 machine. Ayerson gets a great launch in the 44 Chevrolet. And away they go. Now, I've seen a few other races at this track already this week, and it's only Monday, I should say. But opening lap cautions, I don't think would be unheard of tonight. Ayerson with an early gap. Parks has moved up to first. Ross has settled back into third. But look at this, Corey Stahl in the 66 machine. He's up 4 spots very early on and has worked his way up into fourth. Now further back in the pack, Jay Dargan cuts off the fastest lap so far, 23.56. But Dover, the Monster Mile, not necessarily an easy track for these drivers to make moves on. And if we do, by chance, have some green flag runs here tonight, tire management going to be extremely important for these drivers. As now Wally Babb, his last time by in the 99 machine running 14th, has the fastest with a 23.53. So further back in the field, we're seeing some drivers really find some pace here. Back up front to Jason Ayerson, the number 44 Chevrolet. He's got about a 3/10 gap build up over Parks. Parks runs second, Ross third, Stahl fourth, and Fulton running fifth. Now Ayerson not in the chase for the championship. Our fastest champion driver is going to be Chad Ross in third in the 38 machine. As right behind him, looks like Fulton in the 07 takes a peek at Corey Stahl and makes the move stick on the 66. So now Fulton's going to be up 2 positions. Stahl only up 3 at this point. As it looks to me, I don't want Jinx to hear the old commentator's curse, but it looks like drivers taking it pretty easy, playing it safe, and really focusing on the tire wear. Not wanting to use up too much of the front right Goodyear. As this run progresses, it starts to get extremely tight, tough to make those corners. And so many different ways you can drive the track here at Dover. Some guys diming the corner, some guys hard on the brakes, some guys not using the brakes at all to blow up the car. As Fulton has plans to go up front as he makes a move on Chad Ross. Now Fulton is in the point championship, but we've got a crash somewhere out on track where it shows Richard Jones in the 56. Will the caution come out as he's still sitting there taking a tow? So thankfully no caution, but let's see what happened to Jones as we go on board. Just pushes up, tags the wall, and around goes the 56. Thankfully, no caution, though, as Jones finds himself on pit road. He may be done leaving, as there are no fast repairs here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Once you wad up that truck, you got to fix it the old-fashioned way. And Jones a good example as well. Exactly what we're talking about. The tire wear gets tough. Your brake marks no longer work how you're expecting them to. And it's very easy to tag that wall. Big shout out to MJ as well. Liking the video, sharing it on her social media channels. Greatly appreciated. Helps support the drivers, helps support the leagues. It even helps me out. So thank you guys, the fans that keep this show going each and every week. Without you guys, this would be a lot less exciting for me to call. As we're watching just about everybody single file the top 8, all within a second of each other here. Now I'm interested to see what the fuel stops are going to be tonight. Drivers limited to 65% fuel volume. Running 65% of what a full tank would be, so pit strategy going to be very important here, as well as tire management. As the field continues cycling around single file, Fulton edging up the inside line of Ross. This could be the battle for the championship in second, depending on how the points break down. Now last week, if you remember, it was Corey Stahl who picked up the win at Daytona, his first season win. And he only led 1 lap, but that was the most important one right there at the tail end. Stahl in that 66 machine is up 2 spots tonight, worked his way up into 6th fairly quickly. And he's going to tuck in behind Jeffrey Radke, behind him Adam Shane, Page, William Price, all in a nice tight gaggle. Very impressed with Harrison as well in the 44. Qualified on top, continues to charge towards the front. And just kind of clicking off laps. He's in a good spot, nice clean air. I'm going to try and pull up Aerson's statistics here. As he's not a driver we've talked a lot, a whole bunch. as he has yet to score a podium here at the FEG PC Monday Night Truck Series. His highest finish was I guess safe to say, a few weeks ago, April 18th. He found himself at Kentucky, started off 4th and finished 5th and ran a clean race, 0 incidents. So the 44 coming out tonight, even though he's not in the points championship to bring home the win for the segment. Still not going to stop these guys from looking for their very first win of the season, or possibly even a career win. Now Fulton, who's moved all the way up into second, he's up 4 spots, showing no sign of slowing down, as behind him Parks, Ross, Radke starting to lose those lead 2 trucks just ever so slightly. Fulton charging forward. He's only 0.03 of a second faster than Harrison was that last time by. But it's going to be interesting, to me at least. Is Fulton going to push hard here, or is he going to play it safe, tuck in behind the 44 of Harrison? Letting that 44, the blue and yellow, push away the air, so maybe Fulton can save a little bit here. As I am optimistic that this could be a fuel mileage race, a strategy race. Now Fulton, second on track. He is 4th in points coming into tonight, but only 2 points behind, I believe, yes, that's Chad Ross, who's 3rd in points. Dennis Black, who's your race leader, championship leader in points, number 88 machine. Not having the night he was looking for here. He's down 12 spots after he originally started in 17th. I don't see any damage on the side of the 88, but I'm not sure if he's maybe pulling an alternative strategy, because he's way down the stands from where he started. And tonight is it, ladies and gentlemen. This will decide who that season champion's gonna be. As up front, Fulton continuing to put the pressure on the 44. But look at this, John Below is up 18 positions in the number 9 Chevrolet. Qualified 28th and has already worked his way up into 10th. That's fan favorite Jay Darger in the number 57 machine, just ahead of Below's number 9. That'll be the battle for 9th that may unfold here. Now Darger in the 57, he's also up 5 spots as well, so slowly making moves. But as we continue to go green, this is the point of the race where you're going to really see some of those drivers familiar with tire savings start moving their way up, starting to make things happen, as other drivers will find themselves having to lift way earlier to avoid that outside wall. Especially coming out of turn 2 and turn 4. That's when the truck really wants to push up the racetrack. And the more drivers have to fight it to hold it down, the worse the tire wear is going to get for them. The live timing tire left side of your screen to see where your favorite driver currently resides. As up front, Harrison and Fulton still nose to tail, and they have built up over a 1.2 second advantage over Parks in 3rd. Fulton has to be feeling happy here right now. But the big question on everybody's mind, how long can these drivers go on a tank of gas? let us know, ladies and gentlemen. Do you guys think this thing's going to go green here tonight? I'm a little optimistic, but things can always end up being a bit of a meat grinder, especially as you get about halfway through pit stops. That's when you've got fast drivers, maybe a lap or two down with fresh tires charging back up. Possibly some slower drivers at the front, maybe trying a different strategy. We're on board with Fulton in the 07, driving the Phantom Esports Toyota Tundra. Got Gail Martinez here, cheering on Roger Hale as well. Hale having a bit of a rough start, number 24 machine. He's down 6 spots, qualified 13th, now resides just 19th. As he's very quickly going to have some pressure from Dalton McKinney as well as Jimmy Kubanek. Michael Brisson, our first driver down pit road for a green flag stop. As Ayrton and Fulton continue their breakaway, and the rest of the field now 1.5 seconds ahead of Eric Parks. I'm interested to see, are maybe some drivers already playing with fuel mileage numbers to try and get this race done in the fewest amount of stops possible, as that does look good for us going green. I've said the magic words, and I've caused a terrible incident. And unfortunately, Chad Ross in the 38 machine gonna be collected up in this one. Let's see exactly what happened. There's Ross, there's the 51, and around goes Ross, and unfortunately back up into traffic. As the 57 of Dargert tied up in that one. The number 6 machine also tied up. That's Jay Dargert, John Mullahan, both involved in that one. And that will be our first caution of the night. I think that's going to bring just about everybody down pit road. So again, that's Ross, Dargert, Mullahan, all involved in that one. The first crash of the night. We've made it 36 laps in. As it looks like it's Powers, the 533 machine, showing 5 on his truck, 533 on live timing. Will be the race leader after opting to stay out here. Now we got to report Richard Jones has retired from the event. He's sending it back to the virtual hauler. Meanwhile, Ross, Dargert, and Mullahan all with extended stays on pit road. Our first caution of the evening. Looks like most drivers taking 4 fresh tires. And that's going to put Fulton and Ayrton back on the front row. Fulton, I think, is on a 2-tire stop strategy here in the number 7 machine. Anderson making his way to the spectator area. We've got our good friend Justin McMahon cheering on Paris and below. Jim Mott here cheering on Ayrton. And good timing as the green flag comes out, and it's Fulton and Ayrton on that front row. Fulton with a great start in the 07 Toyota picks up the race lead for our his first green flag lap of the night. Ooh, and just behind them, that's Corey Stahl going for a ride. And oh, what a ride is it? Over and over goes the 77 of Stahl. And the field keeps stacking up. Carter, Stahl, Block, Lewis, McFadden, Randolph, all tied up in that one. For those that just joined, great timing because that was absolutely spectacular. Looking at Stahl in the 66 machine on the high line, tags the wall. And unfortunately, the field behind him just can't check up in time. And look at that, Stahl bounces right back. I say bounces, careens back into traffic. Up, over, and around goes the 66. And it is absolute carnage. Let's watch that one more time because I frankly just want to see it again. But this time with the FEG PC Super Slow-Mo. Stahl on the high line. Watch this. He's going to be a little bit tighter than he expects. Bumps the outside wall. Right behind him, drivers trying to check up, not able to do so quickly, but the Monster Mile not known for being extra wide. Stahl spins back into traffic, and then this is where the party really starts. Look at the airtime from Stahl. Look at the airtime from the 88 as well. These drivers just launch into orbit. And then drivers not hearing the call come careening in. ARCA brakes in full effect. And continue to make matters worse. So Stahl and Block both appear to be out of it, taking a tow back to pit road again. No fast repairs here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So in this case, these big hard hits, it could be very safe to assume that they are done and out of the evening. And we're going to have a very quick caution coming out with that restart. We went from having no cautions to 2 cautions very, very quickly. As race control athlete points out, a few championship contenders are out of the run so far. Chad Ross, Chris Carter, both out of the event. Or at least very, very unlikely to be back in the event as they are 7 laps down, still in pit road. Jeff point out, yeah, Christopher Carter not in the championship run. Looks like Ross will be the only championship contender out so far, at least. Still plenty of time, though, to wad up some race trucks. As we continue in pacing conditions. Let me get an update. Roger Hale, yes, appears the number 24 machine is indeed out, sending it back to the virtual hauler after the lap 41 caution. So unfortunately, Hale done and out for the evening. Give you a quick rundown of drivers that are for certain out. Roger Hale, Dalton Randolph have put it back in the virtual hauler. Dennis Black has done the same as John Mullahan and Richard Jones all out. And we got a bunch of other drivers on pit road for an extended stay. Christopher Carter, Corey Stahl, Jay Darker, Chad Ross have been in there for a long, long time here. Now look at this. Rylan Fascinato in the 69 machine running 10th. Shows as not coming down pit road yet. Not sure if that's entirely correct, but he's been out there for a while then. 44 laps on the original set of tires. As we get ready for Fulton and Ayrton to set the stage once more. Pace car is in. And we are back to green flag racing. Fulton with a great launch on the inside line. It looks like Ayrton maybe getting hung out the dry as here comes Sparks on the inside line, number 73 machine. Now, as we've seen in very much real time, cautions, green cautions. Will we get a lap completed under here green? As Ayrton's starting to fall back in the 44s. John Below up 25 positions and now running third. As Ayrton and Radke have a battle for fourth, but man, Below having a great run here. And he is in the championship points chase as well, so keep an eye on that number 9. As he's also been a driver we've seen really keep the tire wear underneath him. Here comes Radke in the 51 machine trying to get up into podium contention as well. He's up 6 spots in his Toyota so far, wants to make it 7. But Below has shown he's got the pace here. As once again the field is fairly single file. We're on board with Jeffrey Radke in the 51 machine. I think we just heard a downshift there. Let's go on board another lap there with Radke. No downshift, just the backfire of the motor. So he's going to keep it 4th gear all the way around. But John Below's number 9 machine has already extended the gap a little bit higher, and it looks like Below putting the pressure on Parks in the 73 machines. We're side by side, coming out of 2 for 2nd place. This may put Radke in a good spot as well as the 73 on the high line, the 9 on the low line. Punching a big old hole through the air. Look at that, Radke trying to follow the 9 through, not quite able to get it. Every driver looking for a way around here. But John Below has made the pass, and most importantly, he's done it clean up in the 2nd place. But we've got 3 trucks, nose to tail, all battling for that 3rd place spot. Derek Fulton out front in the 07 Toyota, just clicking off laps. Now, speaking of manufacturers, it's Toyota, Chevrolet, Ford, running 1, 2, 3. We're going to go back on board with Jeffrey Radke. Watching him involved really in this battle for 2nd. That's Parks Below just ahead of him. Now, are any of these 3 drivers doing any sort of fuel saving? I don't think Fulton is, as he's about a ½ second off his fastest lap of the race, but that can be attributed to the 20 lap old tires. But again, We don't think Fulton took 4 tires in a stop. We think he only took 2 here. Back on board with Radke. As it looks like below in Park starting to spread out a little bit. Here comes Harrison closing the gap as well in the 44 machine. We saw that 44 stuck on the high line for the restart. He lost several positions rather quickly. That may have been a smart move to try and crawl back through and use the tire savings to his advantage. Right now the field is fairly single file, just clicking off laps. Fulton up front. Last time by at 24.26 compared to Below's 24.19. Just a 700th of a second difference there. And Below, I can't tell, I think he's actually losing a little bit of time as Fulton extends his gap to just about 3/4 of a second. But Below's got to be happy that he's no longer in a 3-truck battle as Parks and Radke have been shaken off ever so slightly. Now Parks, on the other hand, still in a hot seat. He's got Radke, Harrison behind him. Adam Shane starting to move back up into 79. As Eric Fulton came into tonight 4th in points. Trying to crawl his way back up and dethrone Dennis Black, who is leading into tonight. But fortunately for Fulton, the current points championship leader, blocking the number 88 machine, is out for the evening after the lap 40 incident. So I think this segment championship could really get shaken up here. It looks to me, and that rather soon, Derek Fulton will be the first driver to have to cut through traffic as he makes his way out of turn 4. We've still got 19 drivers on the lead lap. And I think that's Mark McFadden, the number 5 Ford F-150. Will be the first driver that may go down a lap under green flag conditions. Checking in on McFadden, the number 5 machine. He's still at 10 spots from where he started. But you can see the racers in the background. And it looks to me like the right side of that truck's got a little bit of addition to it. Yeah, it's all scraped up down the right side. So McFadden not having the night he's wanting, but they still up 10 spots. Not a bad night at the racetrack, all things considered. The battle for third continues to heat up. Parks running third in the 73 machine. He's being chased by Radke, Harrison, Shane. All in the fray here, less than 7/10 separating these drivers. As we check back in with your race leader, Derek Fulton, waiting to see when he's going to have the battle with that traffic going on board with the Canadian driver. fast just ahead of him. Now these drivers, these crew chiefs, will start communicating amongst each other and say, all right, here's what we're looking for. Either go high, go low, or just hold your line, and we'll figure it out as it happens. Bolton absolutely ripping out here, especially with a two-tire stop. He's over a 1/10 of a second faster than below that last lap. But going back to third where things are getting heated, Radke and Parks putting on a show. Harrison in the mix as well in the 44. Harrison looks to the inside line against Parks. Can he make it stick here? Looks like he may have the line. Now, the last race I called here was with Next Gen Cup cars, and for the most part, the middle line was the dominant line. It would carry a little bit more speed. We didn't really see many inside passes in the last race I called here, so it's going to be interesting to see how the trucks may differ slightly as the top three. Now, Fulton below Radke. Now Fulton, your race leader, he has put a 1.4 second gap on below. And everybody inside the top 9 came in on lap 36. I think Fulton was the only driver not taking 4 tires there. Very impressed with Fulton, especially on 2-tire stop, just clicking off laps, not having any issues. As John below 1.3 seconds behind. There's Radke and Ayrson. They're running about 3/10 with each other. They've put Parks down about another 3/10 as well. And Parks may have his hands full with the 79 machine of Adam Shane. Shane down 2 spots from where he started, still running 6th out on track. And this is the battle for 5th that's currently on your screen. Less than 2/10 separating Parks in the 73 machine running 5th from Adam Shane running 6th. Now the most we've seen out of these drivers is about 35 laps of green flag racing, 36 before they started coming down pit road. So depending on what exactly they're going to do for fuel mileage, we could technically be towards the end of this fuel run. But again, we haven't seen a full green flag run here yet tonight. As Sean Powers comes down pit road in the 533. He'll be the first driver with a green flag stop. Again, Ron Fascinato in the 69 doesn't show as having come down pit road tonight. I don't think that's accurate, as he's still running 14th and has yet, I mean, I would think surely he'd have to come down for fuel at by lap 78 if that was indeed the case. But Fascinato battling with Kubinek in the 29. Fascinato up 11 spots. Kubinek now up 8. But narrowly avoids keeping off the outside wall in the 29 machine. A Monster Mile is going to chew up some body work. The more these drivers drift out wide, that's exactly what Kubinek does again in the 66. His truck showing the 66, the transponder showing the 29. And there's Craig Lewis as well, number 21 machine. Wanted to interject himself in the battle for 13th, but we've got green flag stops going on up front. Jeffrey Radke in the 51 comes down pit road. Wally Babb, Dalton McKinney's going to follow suit. But how long will Fulton, below Ayrton, your current top three, opt to stay down for? So that means with the way this timing is, they're going to have to come down pit road at least once more after this green flag cycle. As Fulton continues to work alongside traffic. This is where things are going to get a little bit exciting when you've got drivers coming back out on track with fresh tires underneath them. And Fulton just going to hold on for everything he can here. Now he's still about 2.6 seconds ahead of John Below. Below is up 26 spots. But Fulton with a two-tire stop, doing a fantastic job here tonight. Continuing to build up the gap, running about 10th faster than most drivers on the field, lap after lap. A large portion of the drivers down pit road, the top 9, opt to stretch it out a little bit longer, as Parks and Kubanek also coming down pit road, as well as Stephen Page. Rylan Fascinato coming down pit road on lap 87. How long will your top 3 opt to stretch it out for? Now is the answer. Fulton comes down pit road as Ayrton has taken over the second place spot from Below. Now it's only the top 4 drivers, 3 drivers, as Ayrton comes down pit road. John Below also comes down pit road, but Adam Shane opts to stay out in the number 79 Ford F-150. So he'll move up onto the top spot as we continue shaking through the green flag stops. And that's going to put, I believe, just Shane and McCullough on the lead lap. McCullough came in a lap 42 to get off cycle, do something a little bit different. So as Shane comes in on lap 89, that should mean McCullough will be good to go to about lap 93, I believe. 93 to 96 is what we're expecting out of McCullough to be able to stretch his legs in the 03 machine. Now McCullough, one of those drivers I've seen in the past do some magical things as far as strategizing goes. And he would also like nothing more than for the caution to come out here before he decides, yes, he is. He's going to dive down to pit road. So who's that going to put as our race leader? I think it may be Radke in the number 51 Toyota, who's going to take over the lead as McCullough's in pit road. He came in 10 laps prior on lap 80. Now, so far, everybody I see inside the top 10 all opted for 4 fresh tires to accompany those full gas tanks. And Derek Fulton, after his pit stop on lap 87, just clicks off the fastest lap of the race on 23:06. Now in qualifying, those 23 flats, high 29s were good enough to take home a pole position. But we've still got 43 laps left to go as Radke has traffic around him. Gotta be careful here not to lose your mojo, start pushing too hard too early when you find yourself in the lead. He does have a 6.2 second gap over Derek Fulton in second. But if you burn up all those tires in your opening laps, you're done for the rest of the run. Fulton closing the gap. Now it's just 5.2 seconds between himself and the race leader. Fulton has closed the gap now to 4.5 seconds. He's got, I believe that's Fascinato ahead of him, the 69 machine, who also just wants to get a lap back. Fascinato running 14th. Fulton, oh, got into Fascinato. Look at the save there. Let's see if we can pull that up again. Look at this massive save. Gets a little bit of net code from Fulton. But my goodness, what a spectacular save out of Fascinato. Well done to Fulton backing out of it as well. The last thing he wants to do is turn another Canadian out on track. There's only a few of them. You've got Fulton, Fascinato, and McFadden all coming from the Great North. Has gotten around traffic there to continue his charge up towards the front. Now just 3.8 seconds between himself and Jeffrey Radke, your race leader. Now Radke not in the points championship here tonight, but still looking for a win. While Fulton wants to keep charging forward and maybe try and lock up a championship here tonight. Now we're watching Fulton playing with a little bit more traffic, but just a half second ahead is Jeffrey Radke holding on to the race lead. Fulton with 7-lap newer tires and just absolute determination here, continuing to charge forward, That's the 66 machine. I was not really sure who that is. It looked like the 66, but Corey stalls in pit road, so somebody else run the 66 incorrectly. And Fulton takes over the race lead here. I think that's Kubanek in the 29, yes. Transponder shows him as the 29, so another driver running the wrong number on the side of the truck. But Fulton gets past Radke rather quickly and continues charging towards the front. Looked like Sean Powers came in on lap 102 for a pit stop, or at least his 102nd lap. Not sure if that's a strategy call or maybe a damaged race truck he's trying to get fixed here. Now Fulton gonna be hoping for some green flag racing, but go a little bit further back, there's still pretty action-packed, some shenanigans going on. Wally Babb, the Georgian native in the 99 machine, getting pressure from Stephen Page. Page looks up the inside line and looks like he'll make the pass clean for 6. Kent McCullough Jr. is gonna muscle his way through as well in the 03 machine. Big moves still being made across the track here tonight. As it looks like Page feeling pretty tight there in the truck. You can see how high that truck's pushing. Coming out of turn 2 is, who was that just blew the doors off? That was the 553 of Sean Powers, taking a late race pit stop, coming out on 4 fresh tires, trying to get a few laps back here. As it looks like now McCullough starting to reel in Dalton McKinney in the 46 machine to try and squeeze out a top 5 out of that 03 Chevrolet driven by McCullough. Here comes McCullough looking at the inside line. Both of these trucks, no, I take that back. McKinney is on 10 lap older tires. McCullough able to use that to his advantage and start cutting through, but with 25 laps left to go, it's the Derek Fulton show in the 7 machine. He's got just about it's more than that as Radke comes down pit road. Oh, listen to Fulton cutting the engine off there. Listen to this, ladies and gentlemen, you're about to hear some pretty spectacular fuel saving. That's Fulton clutch in. Trying to save as much fuel as he possibly can. And he's still pulling a gap over at Harrison, the 44 machine. So what's the move here for Fulton? Is he hoping for a caution? Surely he can't stretch out the fuel run that long. But he's continuing to build up a gap over Harrison. Now I take that back. Harrison finding a few tenths. 6.8 seconds over the 44 machine. Eric Parks in 73. Dalton McKinney also down pit road. On lap 113, 22 laps left to go. I think it would be nearly impossible for Fulton to save just that much fuel. But maybe he's going to stretch out as long as he can, hoping for a late race caution to put some fast drivers, some more fast drivers, I should say, another lap down. As on average, you're losing about 2 laps to the race leaders every time you pit under green flag condition, but a little bit of traffic there getting squirrely and ahead of Fulton. Trying to spot just who that is in front of your race leader. That'll be the number 28 machine of Ryan Traver. Traver running 12th. Oh, a big moment there for the race leader. Almost getting cleaned out by traffic. Traver, all sorts of out of shape. I'm not sure if he didn't realize that was the race leader, what the issue was, but he is fighting for dear life. In that Ford F-150, Fulton narrowly avoiding getting collected there. Five drivers on the lead lap as it stands. Fulton, Ayrson, McCullough, Parrish, Shane. All on the lead lap in the top 5, but Fulton has an 8.6-second advantage over second place. As I look through here, I don't think he has any competition as far as the championship goes on the lead lap with him. I'm being told Radke had a pretty exciting pit entry. We're going to try and get that queued up for you. Let's see. What does our old friend Radke do here? Oh, Radke. Oh, Radke. Poor Radke. Yep, can't park there. Thankfully, saw no other drivers were coming down pit road with him. As Fulton continues the charge, but now he's going to have drivers with fresh rubber underneath them trying to make their way around. That's the 41 of James Kaufman getting a lap back. Gardner, after 41 and a half minutes, has rejoined the raceway. So you can expect to see some of those guys that got crashed out early to try and pick up some spots by passing drivers that have already put it in the hauler instead of hammering it back. But that shows just how long it takes to fix those machines once you're involved in a big incident. Gardner, he was in pit road for lap 35. We're on lap 122 now for your race leaders. Fulton it's going to be 12 laps left to go as he crosses the line, the start-finish line straight. A lot of traffic behind him. So Fulton still massively fuel saving here. But still an 11-second lead. Here comes the 73 machine of parts getting a lap back. He's still 1, if not 2 laps down here. And Fulton, hardcore fuel saving here at Dover. Almost eerie how quiet it is out of that 7 machine as he's clutching it in through all the corners. 10 laps left to go. Fulton may be able to do something absolutely wild here on fuel strategy. He is committed to it at this point. Got Page right behind the number 1 machine trying to get a lap back as well. Now, if Fulton realizes he's not going to have enough fuel to go and finds himself pitting underneath green, he's going to throw it all away here, because he will go one, if not 2 laps down with a green flag pit stop. Ooh, this is going to be exciting. Will Fulton be able to pull out something wild here? Fulton clutch in, 6 laps left to go, a 12-second advantage over Ayrton. But does the number 7, the fastest Canadian out on track, have enough fuel to stretch it out until the end? His closest competition, Jason Ayrton, also on the same strategy. Now Ayrton has 1 more lap of fuel. He came in lap 88, Fulton came in lap 87. McCullough's worked his way up to 3rd after a lap 90 pit stop, not having to fuel save quite as aggressively. 4 laps left to go. And listen to this again, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go on board with Fulton in the 07 machine. Listen to this fuel saving. What's this? Fulton may have enough gas. He's back on the throttle. So still doing quite a bit of fuel saving, but not as much as we heard in the early laps. And we've got a crash somewhere on the track. It was Kubinek. Thankfully, he takes a tow, so no caution will come out. Tries to come down pit road and misses it by that much. Thankfully for your race leader, Derek Fulton, the caution does not come out. It's 2 laps left to go here at Dover. A championship is on the line. Oh, this is going to be close. Does Fulton have enough gas to get till the end here? He's got a 13-second gap built up. What happened to Chad Ross? Is pit lane chewing him up that bad tonight? No, Ross just had a bit of a lockup, but Fulton, the white flag is out for Derek Fulton, the 07 Toyota Tundra. And ladies and gentlemen, with no gas left to spare, Fulton picks up the win here at Dover. Here comes Ayrton, the number 44 machine, getting ready to take the checkered flag and looking to pick up a 2nd. He will do so. And it'll be Kenneth McCullough Jr. charging towards the front and picking up the 3rd. Fulton brings it down to the start-finish line, but I don't think he's going to have enough gas to do a victory burnout here if I had a bet. But what he can do is sit there and enjoy the scenery. A massive win for Fulton. And his 2nd win of the segment. We're going to wait on our top 3 drivers to get up here into victory lane. Up first, we've got Kenneth McCullough Jr., the Georgia native in the 03 machine. Kenneth, we've seen you do some spectacular stuff with fuel mileage in the past, and it looked like it was about to happen again here tonight.
Yeah, man, I didn't know. I knew them guys in front of me were going to be close. I think Derek even run out coming across the line. I'm just happy to be able to come join you in the booth. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been too long, my friend. Now, were you expecting this to be a fuel mileage race, or were you expecting it to be more of a crash fest tonight?
I figured it would be more of a crash fest. I knew when we had that caution, we were right on borderline, and I didn't have a whole lot of set of tires, so I had to play a different strategy than everybody else did.
Well, Kenneth, it worked out well for you. Good to see the strategy. Kind of what you're known for at this point. Really still working out well for you. Picking up a third, up 17 spots. A pretty solid night all the way around. Who do you want to give a quick shout out to that helped you get up here in that top 3 spot?
I'd like to thank you for doing the broadcast. Thank Jeff for putting this thing on, and all the family members out there just watching and tuning in.
Awesome. My pleasure as always. And Kenneth, we hope to have you back up here in the next segment.
Yes, sir.
That's Kenneth McCullough Jr. bringing home a third. Up next, Jason and the 44 machine. Jason, what a wild night. A race that I thought we are going to see the yellow flag come out a little bit more and ended up being a strategy race.
Yeah, I thought we were going to have a few more yellows, and I had to back it down on that last run there just to save some fuel. And then, yeah, thankfully it worked out. But, yeah, I thought for sure it was going to be a little more eventful.
Now, Jason, in that very last run, the laps start clicking off. You start seeing 15 to go, 10 to go. At what point are you getting real nervous with that strategy, knowing that a green flag stop would have put you down 2 laps?
I'm getting real nervous, thinking, oh, my God, here we're going down to the end. And then I seen a truck spin to the inside with a couple to go, and I thought, oh, my God, here it goes, man, strategy gone. But thankfully it stayed green, and we were able to bring her home P2.
Well, a great night for both you and the number 44 Wrangler back Chevrolet. Jason, who do you want to give a shout out to? Friends, family, sponsors that helped you out with your finish tonight.
I'd like to thank you up there in the booth with RN. And I'd like to thank Jeff for hosting, putting this all on, and my friends, Jim, Clayton, Ed, my mom, my wife for letting me do this, and looking forward to maybe getting into segment 3.
Awesome, Jason. Well done, my friend. Good to have you up here, and hope to see you carry that success forward in the very near future.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you. That was Jason Harrison bringing home second. But up next, Derek Fulton picking up the win here at segment 3, possibly the championship. You got to be feeling pretty good right now. Well, I don't think Derek heard that one. Derek bringing home the win here tonight in the 07 machine. Possibly even a championship. You got to be feeling pretty good.
Hell yeah, man. That was a lot of fun. And just kind of doing the math right now in my head, it looks like we should be good for the championship. So if that should be big, if it is.
Now, Derek, we were talking to Fascinato before the broadcast tonight, another Canadian complaining that he hasn't felt heat in a while. But how much were you sweating in the seat of the 07 machine looking at that fuel gauge as the laps kept going by?
Oh, I caught it just in the nick of time. I think we had about 30 to go, and I looked at my gauge, and it said I had 27 laps of fuel. So if I didn't see that then, I don't know if I would have been able to save enough for the end. I ended up having to save 3 laps of fuel. So cut it close, and then ran out of fuel going into turn 1 on the cool down lap. So that was as close as you could cut it.
Yeah, that's all she's got. Now, Derek, was there any communication amongst the other drivers kind of on the same strategy for you, or is it one of those kind of silent moments where everybody knows just how much is at risk?
Yeah, I was just trying to honestly lead as many laps as I could, try to prevent anybody else from getting those 5 bonus points. So once I seen the clean air, I just didn't really want to look back much, and executed well even when I was saving fuel there, just managed the gap, and pretty sure Jason was doing the same thing as well. So it was a really good race for us. We executed perfectly, and good team win for us as well, for me and Kenneth, as that's our first time kind of going together on the podium. So good night for our team too.
Well, Derek, yeah, couldn't ask for more. It's been great seeing your race all season. It's been a few weeks since you picked up your last win, but what a way to cap off segment 3. And you've got the privilege, the pleasure, my friend, the final send-offs of this segment. Who do you want to give a shout out to out there that's cheering you on?
Huge shout out to my mom. She's going through chemo stuff here in the next couple of weeks, so she's always in our thoughts. And then Octorap.com for being on the truck, and Premier Racing Setups. Use code Fulton15 for 15% off at checkout.
Awesome. Derek, great job, my friend. Always good having you up here, and congratulations. A spectacular race, a spectacular segment, and hope to see you doing just as well next segment, my friend.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, man. Hopefully we'll see you next week.
I'll be here. Take care, Derek.
You too. Take care.
And that was Derek Fulton bringing home the win here at Dover. Jason Harrison bringing home second, and Kenneth McCullough Jr. bringing home a third. Great race all the way around. Just enough cautions to keep things exciting, keep it a little bit interesting. And it all came down to fuel. Who had just a little bit left? And it was Fulton bringing home the win here tonight. As always, on behalf of FEGPC.net, thank you all so much for coming out on a Monday night, supporting the drivers, supporting the league, and even supporting your local broadcaster. Couldn't do it without you guys, and I look forward to having you back for the next segment 3. Same time, same place, next week. Have a great night, everybody.